Good afternoon and welcome back to Carnation Crafts TV. This is the second launch hour of the brand new Clean and Simple collection. If you've not seen it before, where have you been? This is at least now our 7th or 8th release of these fantastic collections. It's the collection that literally has everything in it that you need. You've got a beautiful selection of dies that are all worked together, specially designed aperture basis to take out all the hard work of the measuring and everything else. You've got cardstock. You've also got your foam pads in there as well for $44.99. This is the special second hour launch of this. This is the rising of the iris, and you can see by the colorways in this one, you've got that beautiful rich Bordeaux shade that are in there as well. Plus you have got that beautiful artwork, all hand drawn, that is really going to give you that prestige item. If you're wanting to hop over to the website now, 250414 is your item number to get that, to make sure you get yours. You can scan the QR code just there. There we go. So if you want to scan that one just with the camera on your phone, it will automatically take you to our website where you can get yours. Now, let's take a look. If you've not joined us before and this is your first time today, welcome. This is your Clean and Simple Rising Iris card making kit. As we said, it's got everything in it. It's a comprehensive kit. It's like a little mini business in a box. This has got everything in for you to make and sell your prestige cards in that beautiful, shall we say, boutique kind of style in there as well, keeping it clean, keeping it simple, but yet very, very elegant. You will find all of your dies, and this is the main frame of the actual kits, because the apertures are specially designed to give you that perfect alignment each and every time without thinking and without measuring. You've got your beautiful artwork here, well, your dies for your artwork. This is a beautiful iris. You've also got your decoupage layer there as well, which will give you height, will give you dimension, but can be used separately as well. We've also then got the stitch detail here, so this can actually be used as a little woven design or as a border. You've got lots of usage for this. You've even got embossed detail on the top layer, so again we're giving you that extra bit of detail with each and every layer. Then with these you have got your tags to use your sentiments in there, but the mats and layers to give them perfect alignment each time. Now with your stamps you are actually getting 18 in total. You're actually getting 9 in the actual like rectangle shape, and then the corresponding one exactly the same in the circle as well. So you actually get 19 in total, but it's nice because they will fit each and every one of the dies, so you can layer them together. Plus if you've got any of the other Clean and Simple kits, this will also work together as well. Then you've got your cardstock tucked away in the back, keeping it pristine, and so it takes the time that you haven't got to search for the corresponding colour. This one is the Sangria cardstock, 350 GSM, and you get 5 sheets. If you did want extra, look for the Sangria cardstock on the website. It's all there for, I think it's $14.99, so do have a look on there, it is available. Then you will also get 10 sheets of this beautiful natural blush. These are 250 GSM, so again both are a great weight, and you can emboss them with the details in the dies as well, so they work beautifully well too. Now let's show you a few samples so you can see exactly what you are getting and what you can do with it. You'll see from the array that the design team have done, these are incredible. If you just want to use one of the layers, you don't want to use the aperture, then you can do that. Look at the dimension and the shape on these, all, you know, accessible to make and sell. So this is where you are really going to get into the realms of having those boutique style cards. You've got such lovely detail with the embossing on there as well, as you can see there, and then you've got the lovely iris. Even with the colorways that are in there, you could pull out the green if you wanted to, you know, from your perfect papers and things like that. But also you've got that apricot in there, you've got that little soft orange in there. So again, there's lots of different colorways you can bring this in. So honestly, Do think about mixing and matching it and utilising it the best way that you want it to work with your collections. But like I say, these will work with larger collections as well. If you've got any of the other elements, you've got all the factors there. But like I say, we've been very, very busy for this one, as we always are with the Clean and Simple range. Very, very popular. It's the affordability of having everything in one kit. Now is your time for you to make sure that you check out those baskets on the website to make sure that you get yours. At $44.99, you have got a little bit of everything. So let's scale it back and start right from the beginning, because I like to do this because I do think with say if you're a new crafter as well, it shows you that Clean and Simple range is for you, but intermediate and advanced, it's also for you, because you know you can take it to different levels. Now, using the largest die that is in there, so using the largest one on the outside, this one just here, cut 2 of those, and this is then going to give you your base for your card blank. Take the back one, score about 1/4 of an inch, and that then will give you your hinge for then your card to work together. Now, over half the stock has gone. Bearing in mind, a lot of you had already started buying this before we even went live this morning. So in between shows, and then obviously if you're watching this later tonight, more of that stock will have disappeared. But over 50% of the stock has now gone. So please just be aware of that one. But thank you for being with me. It's great to know that you're all back with me this afternoon as well to see what else we are making. But your Clean and Simple is a popular range because you know now it's the collection that will slot in, the one that you don't have to worry about or think about or even think, who can I make that card for? The Clean and Simple collections work for everybody, so do not worry. Now, you'll notice with these 2 layers, I've actually put foam tape on both of these because I really want to give it that drop shadow look, and I want to give it that elevation. So if you are using your cards, I know sometimes a lot of people always put a lot of them on and they tend to be quite flat. After a while, think about the dimension on your cards. Like that layer was flat, but this one is now raised. So we're making it like a beautiful, think of it like a layered cake. The more layers, the more grandeur. And that's what we want our cards to be as well. We want them to have that grandness to them. So applying the first layer of colour. But even if you just want to do this all cream on cream, you know what I mean, and change your colours over like I did before, you can change the colours over and mix and match. If you've got perfect papers, I know a lot of you have got lots of that, plus your downloads that you've got off the website and things like that. Utilise those and by mixing the colours. We've got that emboss detail there, and that will emboss as you are cutting as well. But if you want to add an embossing mat in when you're embossing it, you can do so as well, and you'll get even more so. So that is just going to sit on there. But you can see already you've got that detail. You might want to change the style of your card. You may want to even have like, I'm going to do this because it's my card, I don't mind, I can tuck these in. But you know, like, so they're growing out of this, so it looks a little bit with the detail like a stone wall. So you can grow different elements out of here with the flowers and do a different style of card each and every time. So don't, you know, overthink it. There is so much on these cards for you to take and have a play with. And I always, when I first get them, I always cut them out of like some cardstock I'm not bothered about, or some copier paper, and just learn the lay of the land, shall we say. And I always find that will then give you the confidence to be like, right, I'm going to try something different, or you want to really bring up a different style on your card. So just have a play around as always, and you do you, and you will absolutely love what you've got with this collection. Now I'm doing it, so last time when in the first show I did it so the stem was cut a little bit shorter, but this shows that the stem will actually sit and nest in there. So it's like a beautiful vase that it's like sat in there. And taking the iris flower, and we're just going to crease these a little bit just to give it that mould and that shape. And this will just give it that little bit of fullness. So just pinch the bottom as well. So I'm going to place that over there like so. And then with this one, what did I do with my sentiment? Did I not? I didn't put my sentiment in with this one. What? Honestly, I've had one of them days today. Honestly, it's just one of them days. Now with this one, this is a full size strip. So if you want it full size, you can do so. But I must admit, I like to make mine a little bit smaller. So I will just take a little bit off and just add a little bit of detail to there. But then if you wanted to, and I'll just take off then any excess there, if you want to, then the little other piece that I've taken off, you can then just bring this in and put this like that side. So again, it's just drawing the eye in and utilising the little pieces in the corner. So it just gives it that balance, because otherwise we've got such a lot on this side of the card. Sometimes your cards can look a little bit. So because I haven't got a sentiment, by adding that there, you can see it just balances it out. So if you're never sure, just like pretend, put something in that corner to see if it will detract from it. Or, you know, like I say, it could be a sentiment that would sit there. So then you wouldn't need that. Do think about using your lids of your glues and things like that, just sometimes as a little bit of, you know, anticipating where you're going to put things before you stick them down. But as you can see, quick, simple, but yet very, very elegant, giving you that beautiful look all the way through. Even with the angles, there's no real sharp angles to this. It's got that curvature to the corners to give it that softness. And again, it looks more bespoke. And that's what we like. And with this, if you're thinking, where is the artwork? The artwork for you to download, the beautiful iris, is available on Carnation Crafts website. So have a look in the download section. You can download it for free. But honestly, it is such a beautiful floral element, and I know you, from all the other collections you've got, you'll have other elements you can add to this as well. But this is your Clean and Simple. It's a phenomenal kit. Absolutely beautiful for you to mix and match. It will take you, as always, all the way through the different times of year, all the different occasions of cards for you to be able to get that. But the show price today on launch day is $44.99. 250414 is your item number if you want to pop over to the website and get it there. You can scan the QR code at the bottom with your phone camera, and then that will take you to the website too. But just to show you, if you're thinking, I've got lots of Carnation Crafts dies, but I haven't got anything like this. This is where we now show you the inspiration, where you can bring in other elements from your collections that will also work. Even the characters, the sentiments, these are beautiful. Everything works together. So please don't think, oh, you know, this is just a collection. I always say this is like a foundation. This will give you the basis for a beautiful shape, and then you can decorate it however you want. It could be somebody who's passed their exams or something like that. You've got those beautiful detail there. It could just be for somebody's birthday. It could be, you know, I'm sorry for your loss or something like that. But you can see how gorgeous you can mix up different elements and factors that you've got. This one's come a little bit loose. I will glue it afterwards. I will. But look, using different elements that you've got, look how it transforms the card. Just having a card base will change the way you craft. So again, this is going to make it so easy for you now to take this up to, you know, your style, your creativity, and just do something a little bit different. Now, we say a little bit different because this time I am going to be using some florals. Again, some pretty little florals that we've got. And these ones are actually from a Clean and Simple collection. I can't remember which one. It was one of the early ones. What I think it is. Yes, from one of the earlier ones. It wasn't the was it the rectangle one? Maybe. I can't remember. Somebody probably at home will be able to tell me, believe you me. Now, with this one, you can see we've gone for the stronger cardstock this time for the card base, because this was more pinky. I thought it drew out more of these tones, but you can see with a lot of the toppers, depending on what style you use, it really doesn't matter. 1/4 of an inch again, using the largest size of the dies. All I've done is taken this, so then I can make a little hinge as always, and it folds really easy, so do not worry. And now I can make my card base. So let's just pop that first layer on. There's my card base ready to go. But if you want to, like I say, punch 2 little holes. You can make lots and lots of little notebooks with these and things like that. So do, you know, have a play around. Using my foam on a roll, this is going to give me height and elevation, and just make sure that it is supported. So adding in this beautiful, like I say, it's like a very soft vanilla, you know, that vanilla like custard kind of look. If you get that, you know, like the expensive one. not the yellow one that's luminous. This is like, you know, the proper vanilla with a vanilla pod in. This is the colour that you're going to get, and it's beautiful. This will look incredible for a wedding or anything like that, but also very, very on trend with the colour palette that's in with this as well, with this beautiful sangria cardstock. So again, this will look absolutely gorgeous. Now, popping this onto here, you will also find with the dies, these will fit through more or less all the die cutting machines out there. Please don't think you need a certain die cutting machine. With these as well, I would say it's just size permitting. So if you've got something like an A5 size 1 upwards, you will be absolutely fine to do so. If you've got one of the A4 machines, then that's a Billy bonus. You've got the larger size plates, so you can put more bits through to cut at the same time. But look at that. This is like when you go, you know, like when you go and take the guys to buy a new suit. And you go in and they say, right, so what would you like? This is like the shirt, the jacket. You've got a little bit of everything. So again, I just think it looks really, really smart. Now with this, again, if you did it in black and white, these would be like the lapels on the jacket, which you could snip away a little bit to lift those a little bit. You could put some little pearl buttons on. So, you know, like for a stag do or a best man's card, this would work really, really well. So do think about, you know, and just adding like a little dicky bow there or something like that. You could really play about with this one. So now I'm just taking some of the elements. And like I say, this was from one of the other Clean and Simple ones. So it just shows if you have got other flowers from other collections, this is where you start bringing them in. So again, nothing is wasted. You get to use all those little bits you've got left in your little bits of stash that we like to have. So that's just going to sit just there. Now, I also had this fabulous corner and I thought I'm going to put that there. That's going to make it look a little bit more regal. I don't know where it's from. I'm not going to lie to you. I've got no idea, but I'm sure somebody will know. Or if you go on the website and have a look, but this is the vignette for it. And I borrowed this one. They're not having it back. So literally just add in a little bit of the glue. Have a look for the glues. They are available on the website, so stock up while you are there, because nobody likes to pay P&P just for glue. Make sure you stock up and get those. And do remember, when we finish this show today, a lot of them are ready and being ready to be shipped. They are ready to go out to you, so you could have this by tomorrow. So just bear that in mind. So again, if you're like me, I don't do like 5 or 6 days waiting. I'm not good. I'm casing the postman as soon as I see him on the street. I'm there. Have you got anything for me? He's like, no. So this will be dispatched today. So hopefully by tomorrow you may well receive yours. So please keep your eyes peeled and make sure you check yours out to ensure you could be one of the first to receive it. I'd love to know who, put it on social media, on Facebook. If you're one of those people who received it first, I'd love to know who's got theirs already. I really do, because that's really exciting. And show us what you are doing with it. Don't forget the Facebook group on Carnation Crafts. Obviously, you can join the Clean and Simple one, and you can show us your makes as well, because we like to see what you do. So please do make sure you pop on there and have a look. But you can see with this, I've just added that little bit of a corner to that one. I've got some of the darker cardstock, because obviously I could add that there as a little bit, but I'm just going to put this and centralize that. Using my foam pads that again come in the kit, and these are easy peel. Even with Daft Telly nails, these come off really easy, so it's not something you're going to struggle with. So just putting that there, and that's the stays on ink as well. But can you see how you've got the flow of this corner with the flow of that top corner? So this now with the darker cardstock, you can see. Shall I bring in the one from before? Where did I put that? Oh, where did I put it? I can't. Oh, I can. Just to show you, obviously this was more of a creamy background, whereas that one I've got the depth of the background with it being more of that beautiful sangria, but just changing the colours. And I know a lot of you have got a lot of flowers from Carnation Crafts. You've brought the kits over the years. Get the little pieces out that you've got left over that you've only got one little sprig. Start mixing it, start selling them as well, because honestly, value for money, this is an incredible kit to have. The sentiments in there, the cardstock, the foam pads, all the dies to make your cards. You don't need to have another a die set this week, if not, because obviously you have got everything in there that will now change the way that you craft. These are my go-to each and every time. I'll be honest, you know, when you get to that point where you think, I want to craft, don't know what I want to do, or somebody says, can you make me a last minute card? This is now your kit that you really do need. So let's have a look at the kit. Like I say, it comes all in the kit. You've got even the name of the kit on there and the color palette that's on there, so it is all nice and beautifully packaged. You've got all your dies on the left hand side, all the mats and layers, because Clean and Simple is all about the perfect aperture. You will get the perfect aperture each and every time that you use these. You haven't got to think about it. You've even got that embossed detail on there as well, so you've got all of those, and then you have got your floral elements. Even with these, because of all the cut detail you've got in there, it's not just a plain outside shape. You've got so much cut detail on there. Even if you cut these in white and you watercoloured these in if you wanted to for a change. But do remember, you will get all the artwork for free, downloadable for free on the Carnation Crafts website with your vignettes. And then all you do is, obviously they've got a score line on, you fold them in half, a little bit of adhesive on the back, and then you cut them out, and then you've got double-sided floral elements. You've got your tags in there, so you can utilise those because they work so well with the actual stamps that you're getting in your kit. You've got 18 in total. They are exactly the same sentiments, but some are obviously for the circular shape, some are for the rectangle. So this is what makes it perfect alignment. You're not looking for a sentiment that's going to be too big or too small for your project. They're all pre-sized and will work with other collections. You've also then got the cardstock in here. You are getting 5 sheets of the sangria. Like I say, if you want to get this separately, $14.99 on the website if you want to get that. Then we've got the natural blush, 250 GSM, that one's 350. But again, it's a great way. It is scoreable, it's foldable, you can rub a stamp onto it, so do not worry. Then you've got your adhesives on there too. You've got your 5 meters of your 5mm. You've got your 10mm foam pads, and you've also got your 5mm sheet of foam pads. And like I say, these are easy peel. Please do not think you are going to have a set and you're going to be struggling to get the backs off. These are so easy to do. Everything comes in the fabulous gift box. It gives you a full listing on the back. You can tuck that in and that will sit on there as well. Let's have a look at the finished card so you can see this is exactly what you are going to make when you get that kit. If you don't add anything else to it, this is the kind of thing that you can make. Then you've got your sentiments in there. You've got well done, good luck, so sorry, enjoy your day, birthday wishes, with love, happy anniversary, thinking of you, and happy birthday. As you can see, the sentiments are all slightly different with the text that's been used, but the font, sorry. So again, it does give it a really great look. $44.99 for the Clean and Simple collection. Like I say, busy as always. So do have a look on the website and check yours out. Now we are going to do another little demo. Sorry about the rustling, I'm not eating crisps. Let's take this out and let's do another little card for you as well. Now this one, I wanted to show you that you can just do it all in one colour. So if you have got lots and lots of white cardstock, once you've used the rest in your kit, to show you that it doesn't have to be all the multicolours. You can keep it like white on white, cream on cream, navy on navy. You can do those different styles with it as well. So it's all about changing up the look of your card. Cut 2 of the largest ones as always, and do just make sure you check that they align before you put your score line in. Okay, and then just 1/4 inch, that's what I tend to do each time, and I find that a lot easier. You saw earlier we made twisted easel cards. You can do the stepper cards with these and things like that, which I can do with this one. So just adding that on to there like so, and you can see it's that easy. Now even if you've done that and you're thinking, you know what, we'll change it up, if you're wanting to then do an easel card, I have got a little stopper so I can use that one. So all I would do is say to you, definitely use a scoreboard. Score 1/4 inch, so you've got that. Whatever you've got left, if I was doing this at home, I always fold in whatever I've got left. Like I say, this wasn't intended, but I'm showing you how you can just do a change of direction. So that shows you, then we've made like our little easel. Okay, so we've got that. So that is going to give us that stance, okay? So we've got that. I can now take my next layer, and because, let's make sure I got it the right way. I've put tape on it, but I'll only take the tape off where, because it was going to be a flat layer. Just make sure that you know that inlay is the right way, because as you can see, that way it protrudes a little bit. If you want it still to go in a standard size envelope, I would say to you, just do it to that angle. Now, I have put tape on because, like I say, we were going to do a different shape card, but I'm showing you how easy it is to change it up. I'm just going to take the tape off there, and then what I would do is then cut another piece of cardstock and tape it to the back once it's on the card, and then you won't see this tape. So there is ways and means. If you go halfway through a card like I do sometimes, and then you think, oh, I want to show you this, I want to show you that, there is ways of covering it. So all I'm doing is taking the tape off where I need it, then I'd put a piece on there once it's on, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it. Can you see? So I'd put that on, then I'd cut a piece of card, stick that on there, and then you won't see the tape. So that has now given us our easel card, as easy as that. Again, we're taking the mats and layers, but again, we've got volume with this because I've put the foam on a roll. This is going to give it that height and that dimension, but really, really easy because we have got over 50% of the stock of this is now gone. We have been super, super busy. We keep trying to get a bigger and bigger stock each and every time. But obviously, you know, there's more and more people learning about it. There's more and more people wanting to get these collections. So honestly, please do be quick. I think might be, I don't know what day it is. It might be Thursday. Is it on Hobby Maker? I'm not sure, Tim. I'm not on Hobby. I think it's Laura. I think Laura's on Hobby Maker on Thursday, so check out the schedule over there. And obviously, you know, Laura's fantastic. She'll have her own inspiration and her own ideas as well, so you'll be able to learn some different bits on there too. But while you're here now, this is, and 50%'s already gone, over 50%, please do check out yours so you don't miss out, don't wait. So now I'm florals again. You can see I've just cut these down, but I do think with the cream on cream it just looks gorgeous. You've really got that softness to it as well, and you'll see with this one, all I've done with this one is I've kind of folded it in a little bit so it wasn't quite as wide at the base. I've trimmed some off, and I am a bit of a devil for folding it in on itself underneath. Can you see? So it gives it a curve, but it also curves underneath so it then doesn't look flat. So we've got like a little bit that actually, like, can you see, jumps up from your card, so it gives you that little bit of shape. So all I'm going to do is just position that like so, but it's like mirroring that effect and giving you that drape on there. Then obviously with this before I was going to add that here, but now because we've made it a stepper card, I'm going to have to use this as my little stepper, as my stopper. But you know, we've changed it all together. It wasn't going to be like this, but you know, that's fine. I wanted to show you how to do it so you know how to do it when you get this home. So now I can add my little stopper there. That's going to sit, but it has to be on foam pads, so always make sure. Then I've got my little pieces here, and this obviously, because I'm not using it as the stitching to hold my little flowers on, I'm going to use this as a decoration on the side of my card. And again, with this one, just add a little tiny bit of detail. And with this, if you actually stack one longer than the other, like so, I tend to do it like that as well. So then you get like that different effect. Can you see? Just gives it that white cream on cream, sorry, but it just gives it that little bit of detail. So again, this corner doesn't look too empty because we've taken the sentiment and I've used that in a different placement. But you can see when I turn this around, we've now totally gone rogue, and I've changed it up and made it into a stepper card, but that will still fit in your envelopes. Still using your clean and simple, still giving you all that beautiful design work, but it just makes it so easy now. Like I did, change it up, use your scoreboard, change it, score it, and then you've got that beautiful detail on there as well. So you can do that. So just showing you as well, look, these are all different. Like I say, this one's got more of a dark card base, so we're using that one. The first one that we did is using it straight out the box, just using it as it is. But if you've got ribbons, you've got bows, you've got little butterfly dies from Carnation Craft, you want to add like a scattering of butterflies flying across it, then do so. But it just shows the change of direction that you can do to make different shaped cards like that. Before we did a twisted one, there is so many ways. Hang on, let me get this the right way up. Then you can see now, this now will give you the change of direction. Can you see? So we've got easel shaped ones, we've got twisted easel ones, we've got your everyday cards. There is so much scope for all of these. So if you're new to this, this is going to make your life so much easier, and it's also going to grow with you. That one's a bit wet still. But obviously, if you're like intermediate or advanced, you're like me, you look at it and think, all right, I can do this, I can do that. You can change the shape. If you've got other collections from the Clean and Simple, then I would say to you, you can do that as well. But honestly, you have really got such a beautiful collection to do. Let's show you a few more samples so you can have a little look. Now, look at this. We've got those beautiful mice on there. Look at the scaling. These are from your everyday Carnation Crafts collections. The pieces you've got in a little box left over from making Auntie Frida's card, or, you know, your sister's celebration card. All the bits. Look at this with the top hat and the shoes and the cane. So that could be for like somebody's prom night or something like that. But it does give you the accessibility of always having a card blank, always having a great base to start with, but then the shape, the formation where, you know, it could be, you might have the little hill climbers and they're climbing up the little hills. There was one before, like this one, can you see? Inking it and changing it into that as well. So that's using it in different ways. Let's show you with the original kit. If you got this home and you just want to make cards like this, you now have it and you can do so. With this one, obviously you've got all your mats and layers, you've even got the stitching, but with this one it's been cleverly, I'm just going to squeeze that up, it's been made into a little bow by gluing it together, so making it dimensional. Look how incredible that is. So again, very, very pretty. The design team do an incredible job. So honestly, thank you to them. But you can see here again, just that little tiny bit of detail, utilising one of the circle sentiments as a pot or a vase. You can do that. Love this one. It's just the mats and layers. They've not used the aperture on this one, but how easy is it to get the perfect mat and layer? And these are skinny mats and layers, so they're twice as difficult than the thick layers. So now you can see how gorgeous this can look. But you imagine, this could be a Christmas card, it could be an Easter, it could be birthday, it doesn't matter. You've got so many different things that you can change this up into now and give you that different style. Now this last card, this was the one that I was on about this morning, where I've cut it and done different things with it. So hopefully you'll then be able to follow along, and if you want to change the style of it, you can do so. So I'll give you a little bit of an overview where I was going with this and why I was doing it. Okay, so with this one, first of all, when I first looked at this, I thought it looked like a butterfly wing, and that was my inspiration. So I cut two because, like I say, I wanted it to look like little wings on a card. So you've got the little wings on there for you. Obviously one folds one way, one folds the other, so you've got like your more embossed detail on one, and the other one you can still see I've got that slight detail. What we're going to do is still use the large mat and layer, and like these flowers, I don't know which collection this is from, but the colours again went with my cardstock, so that's why I pulled these in. These might be, which one, sorry? Above All Else collection, but they're really pretty. And like I say, the colours, I just laid out all my bits because I've got like bags with bits in it, and the you know, the design team give me, and you know, the team here, and I saw those, I thought that's the one, that's just what I need. So let's tape this one down. I'm going to glue this one because I want it to be, sometimes as well, you know, when you want the base to be a little bit more rigid, I would say to you, do your glue, because this will give you glue lamination, okay, because when it dries they fuse together and it makes it even stronger. So cardstock gives it more density, Okay, so that's that one. Then with this one, like I say, I've done a really skinny little hinge on these because I wanted to get that little skinny hinge on there. Then I'm going to put some of my glue on I might use my applicator, let's be sensible. So I'm going to use this onto here because this glue is fantastic. It's got low water content, so it dries super quick, and especially like in here with the lights on and everything where it's warm, it will dry quick. So let's get a little bit of this glue onto here, and what I'm going to do is then stick this just over this side. Okay, so it's just going to be slightly off the edge. Okay, so let's just hold that down. Like I say, it just gives it that winged effect, and that's where I was kind of going with this one, to give it that little bit of dimension and a little bit of shape. Same with this one. So again, let's take this and glue this. Could use red liner tape if you wanted to, but I didn't want the tape to show. You know what I mean? Even though you can get skinny one, I didn't want it to show. And I do think with this one, with obviously being so fine, the wet glue would grab and it would adhere to the cardstock really well. So just popping that on to there. Again, I'm going to twist this round and I'm going to fasten this onto this side all by eye. I'll try and keep my head out of the way because you know what we like to see what we're doing, but standing back looking down. So just adding that onto there, just need that to dry, but you can see already that was my thought process with that one. So again, it's just something different. I want you to be able to do different with this. I know with Carnation Crafts they do a lot of trellis work and things like that with their designs. So this again, oh hang on, we're sliding. I've got a bit of slidey wet glue, hang on. This then will just give you that more scope for you then to use what you've already got, and then just add like the odd, you know, different kit to the collection and things like this. So with this, I trim these down so then I've got a piece for either side like so. So already we're dressing it, already it's got that beautiful look about it, but it will just make it simple then for you to just think, do you know what, I've got something like that, or you've got a border or trellis work or whatever you've got, you can now take into this and work with this. You might have like the little squirrels I know that they did and things like that. You could add those into that. So just adding this onto there, but with the cardstock, I couldn't have picked a better colour. I really couldn't with the artwork that you've got here. But like I say, you might have something with more oranges in and you want to change the background. Get your perfect papers out, add those to it, and you know you can come up with all sorts of colours with this one. Because I was thinking, you know, if you wanted to add baby blues to this, make more baby cards like we did that Easter one with like the little rabbit on and things like that. You've got so many occasions now, and like Father's Day as well. I just think with the shape of this card, it would give you such a great card for you to be able to work with and do something different. But can you see then you've got your little bits there, but like I say, they were like little wings to me, like little butterfly wings, but that's what I was thinking of. So then we've got that shape and we've got that dimension, and that will open like so. So just making sure that's drying. There we go. So let's start adding some of the layers on there as well, which obviously I have got. And this is fabulous to be able to add on to here. But thank you for being with me. It's great to know that a lot of you are there again with us this afternoon and enjoying your latest collection from the Clean and Simple range. We bring to you lots and lots of different things here at Carnation Crafts. Lovely Laura, you know, is normally here all the time. I just come in and show you the Clean and Simple ones, but you can see they all merge together. It works as a great family like your die cutting range should do. And this is then just going to make your die cutting even more prestige. You can make and sell with all of these. You can use these with other dies that you've got, but they will go through all major die cutting machines that are on the market, so do not worry. Now with this one, I was starting to think then it looked a little bit plain. It needed a fastener, so this is where the circles I've got are actually going to come in to play with this one. So what I've done is just put tape down one side, and this then is just going to sit on there like so. Just let's make sure I get that right. So that's going to sit there, so then we can still open it, but it will also weight it down and keep it closed as well. these are the foam pads. Like I say, really easy to peel off, as you can see. But if you do struggle, a bit of a tip, just press, push in and peel back, and then you will actually find they come off very easily. So if you, dexterity wise, if you struggle, just use your pokey tool. But then you can see with that, we've got that detail. Then with this, I can add a little bit of detail to the bottom if I wanted to, but I think it looks kind of clean and crisp as it is. I would say to you, just leave it as it is. But then you've got the elements, can you see? So obviously my glue's a little bit wet, but then you could decorate the inside. You've got that detail. So then if I turn that round, you can see you've got something a little bit different. And again, just changing with a score line the fold and the shape of the card, so bringing it more to the inside and reflection of each other rather than having it just on the outside. So again, giving you a different shape on there as well. So really making that fabulous every time, and that's what we want. The Clean and Simple range is such an iconic staple now for a lot of the Carnation Craft viewers, because with this one you get everything in the box. It is like a business in the box. You've got a little bit of everything. You've got everything through your card stock, which I'm going to show you now, and you can see for $44.99, which is the special show offer price that we've got for you today. Do pop over to the website 250414 if you want to place your order. Like I say, the kits are beautiful. Each one is colour coordinated, and even just by looking at this, you know exactly what colours you're going to be getting and what you're going to be using. So if you're having a day where you just think, oh, I don't know what colour to use, this could just be your inspiration right there. Everything comes in this fantastic folder, which has been, again, skillfully thought of to house and store everything. You've got all of your dies on here, even down to the top layer, which is the emboss detail as well. You've got your tags, your mats, your layers, your beautiful stitch detail. You've got your floral elements as well, and also your decoupage layer. So this now is just going to give you all those stages. If you just want to use two of them, just use two of them. If you want to use all of them, then by all means use them all, because then you get this look and you've got all those perfect alignment of apertures that have been done. You've got dimension, you've got shape, you've got that little bit of luxury, and that's what it looks like. You know when you get a beautiful book and it's got that beautiful like curved beveled edge on it, and you know it's been really loved and put together beautifully, it will be the same for your cards. Now, as we move across at the back here, you've always got your card stock. Now, in here, sometimes I get my downloads, print them off, and I'll put them in the back of here. So I keep them with a kit. So sometimes then I ain't got to worry if I've got some printed. I can always have a few just in the back of there on the sheets, on the A4 sheets. Make sure you get your Pro Print paper though, because obviously that will give the best effect when you're printing them out. You are going to get 5 sheets of the Sangria cardstock, 350 GSM. You're going to get 10 of the natural blush cardstock, that's 250 GSM. So we're giving you the mix and the balance of both, but both of them will die cut like a dream. And obviously if you've got your cut tidy as well, that will absolutely just change your world, believe you me. Then you've got your stamps. You are getting 19 in total with this, but obviously you've got 18, sorry, 2 9s are 18, aren't they? Sorry, I'm making numbers up now. You get 9 of the like the rectangle ones, and then you're going to get 9 of the circular ones. Beautiful fonts, beautiful design, but again, mix and match these with some of the others from the other collections. You're going to get 5 meters of your 5mm foam on a roll. 10mm, you're getting one of the sheets of those, and you're also getting the 5mm, the smaller ones, and they're all individually wrapped, so they're not going to stick together. But also you've got your pocket. Remember, if your projects, you know, like with these, if your tape starts to lose its stickiness because you're taking them on and off, you can store them in there. But also if you're working on projects and they're half finished, pop your cards in there. Don't be frightened if you know you're halfway and you start, then you have one of them days where you're like, oh, I'll leave that and I'll start making something else. They will sit in there, plus all your offcuts sit in there nicely, but also you've got your adhesive. Everything is in the box, which is beautiful. So it really does make it luxurious as a gift to yourself or a gift to a loved one. And at the end of the day, we all like kits with everything in it, something we don't have to worry or think about, but everything is there for us. Your Clean and Simple kits are always going to do that. But just to show you as well, if you need that little bit more inspiration and that little bit more confidence, if you've got other dies, like I say, these are carnation ones, but you may have other dies that you've got over the years. These again will mix with this set, because you've got the perfect matte and layer, you've got the perfect aperture. Look at that. How many of us have either got stamps that we can stamp out, or we've got dies, we can die cut a little bit of foliage, a little bit of a sentiment. The sentiment's in the kit, boom, perfect size. But then you've got your matte and layer, little bit of a flower, that is all you need. These are makeable, these are sellable. These are going to be the ones that just everybody goes to. It's like with the paper. You can obviously, you might not have a full sheet of the paper, but you just want a little swatch that you've got left over. Utilise these bits. It's great for scrap busting and things like that. But these are, I think it works out about a 5x5 size card that will sit in a 6x6 envelope. So again, it's giving you the potential. I'm going to stick that, team. It's driving me crazy. I'm going to stick this on because the design team have gone to a lot of trouble, and I want to make sure it's perfect for them. So this, again, look how beautiful that is. But the edging on it and everything else, elements that they've got from other card kits, brought those in. And this now gives you that shape. And who'd have thought that was from this collection? But it doesn't... There, I'll move them across slightly for you. You can see with those that how different, but it comes from the same basis. Foundation is key with your cardstocks. Having a great base, you can decorate everything. It's like saying, I'm going to decorate this house, but you've got no house or a room. This will give you the room, this will give you the space, and then all you've got to do is decorate it. You don't have to think about measuring and cutting, because if you're anything like me, I don't measure. I'm not the best at measuring. So this makes it simple to do that. And you've seen how different the cards can be just by adding that little bit of, I'm going to change these up a little bit. Look at this. If you want richness, but you imagine you might have a little Christmas tree die or something like that for Christmas. This make beautiful Christmas cards and things like that. Like say you could have a tag slider top that comes out the top of this as well. Utilising the stitching here, done it as a border like we did on one of the first cards I did. You can add that in. A touch of ribbon. It doesn't have to be a lot. You have got this now to really give you that look and design. Taking the stamps, stamping around the edge, make your own border and your own design. But then with this one, taking it from that size card to now this size card by just adding an extra matte and layer and adding it to the front of a card. But that could be a box lid or something like that. But then taking on your designs like we did just a minute ago and changing the look and the shape of how you fold, how you score the card base, again, will give you that different look each and every time, so you don't have to think about it. You have got that potential now to do that as well. And you can see how beautiful this collection is. It will really give you that luxury and that feel. And card making, it holds your hand. If you need that inspiration, like I say, pop over to the Carnation Crafts Facebook page on there, The Clean and Simple, and all the cards will be on there. I'm more than happy for you to watch these shows back, and you can replicate any of my cards, and then you can even make and sell them. If it gives you that little bit of extra spends so you can then get your next kit, that's what it's all about. But these are clean and simple, giving you the more bespoke card, giving you that purity, giving you that clean lines, clean finish. And again, perfect apertures, as we've said all along. But do pop over to the Carnation Crafts website. That's where everything will be for you. 250414 is your item number. You can scan the QR code and you can do that as well. But I just want to say a massive thank you to the Carnation Crafts team as always, and you at home for being with me too. It's great to see you all again, and hopefully I'll see you all soon. So take care and enjoy your